This video examines the neurobiological and psychological mechanisms linking alcohol use to anger and negative emotional states. Alcohol does not inherently generate anger. Instead, alcohol interacts with pre-existing emotional and psychological characteristics. Anger is a multifaceted affective state that often includes components of anxiety, irritability, and depressive mood. Individuals with underlying negative affect or unresolved stressors are more likely to exhibit anger-related behaviors when consuming alcohol. Alcohol use disorder is strongly associated with early trauma, maltreatment, and cumulative psychosocial adversity. Women experience disproportionately higher rates of childhood sexual abuse and violent victimization, contributing to elevated risk profiles. Repeated exposure to stress and trauma increases vulnerability to negative affect, anxiety, and depressive symptoms. These same psychological factors interact with alcohol's effects on stress and emotion regulation pathways. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis plays a central role in the body's stress response. Alcohol activates receptors within this system, producing cortisol and norepinephrine release patterns similar to those observed during psychological stress. This alcohol-induced activation increases physiological arousal and can heighten susceptibility to anxiety, irritability, and anger. With chronic alcohol use, this pathway remains elevated, even in the absence of alcohol. Dopamine is a key neurotransmitter in reward processing and reinforcement learning. Increased dopamine in the mesolimbic parts of the brain has positive effects on mood. Acute alcohol intake increases dopamine levels, initially making us feel good and reinforcing drinking behaviors. Chronic alcohol misuse, however, reduces baseline dopamine availability, contributing to diminished mood, anhedonia, and emotional instability, factors that can facilitate anger responses. Serotonin modulates mood, stress reactivity, sleep, and reward pathways. Alcohol alters serotonin signaling in region-specific ways, with documented differences between men and women. While acute alcohol use may increase serotonin and transiently elevate mood, long-term use decreases serotonin function, contributing to dysphoria, sleep disruption, and increased alcohol craving. These alterations increase vulnerability to negative emotional states. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive control, behavioral inhibition, and evaluation of consequences. Alcohol enhances inhibitory GABA signaling and suppresses excitatory glutamate signaling in this region, reducing cognitive control. As prefrontal regulation declines, behavior becomes more dependent on current emotional states. Individuals experiencing negative affect may exhibit crying, verbal aggression, or physical aggression due to impaired inhibitory control. Alcohol use disorder frequently produces interpersonal conflict, particularly within family systems. Individuals may externalize blame, deny alcohol-related impairment, or misinterpret social cues due to disrupted prefrontal processing. Impaired impulse control increases the likelihood of disproportionate or unpredictable reactions to minor stressors. Memory impairment is also common, and individuals may fail to recall details of altercations or deny involvement entirely. With binge drinking and heavy regular drinking, an individual may engage in all kinds of behaviors without creating new memories. This extreme memory deficit, while still conscious, is what it means to be blackout drunk. Alcohol is neurotoxic, and neuronal loss can produce lasting deficits. However, cessation of alcohol use allows surviving neurons to form new synaptic connections, and molecular signaling pathways gradually normalize. The time required for these systems to recover contributes to withdrawal symptoms and craving. Behavioral and medical interventions significantly improve long-term outcomes and will reduce the chances of relapse. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe for more neuroscience and brain health content.